Back in Tallahassee, Florida, at halftime of a strange one. Clemson on top of Florida State, 14-9. Bowden Bowl VIII has a normal sounding score, but it was just hard to get to 14-9. About as strange as you can imagine. Father and son shaking hands before the game. They don't spend time with each other on this one. Now here's the extra point that's blocked and picked up and returned for 2 points. Later, they block a field goal and get a touchdown out of this. Bobby Bowden at the half, as his quarterback Proctor had a great first half, led the club back. Tommy Bowden said at the half, "That's it, I'm done. I'm not kicking anymore. I'm finished." He went for 2 after the touchdown and got it. And it's, you know, it's a kind of turnaround that you look and you say, Clemson dominated this first half. They should be way up, but Florida State's really fortunate to be within 5.
Well, and they're fortunate that their defense is pretty solid, because offensively they just really still have not done anything in a first half of a ball game. I mean, they were outgained by nearly 100 yards in that first half. So it's still the burden, I think, for Florida State is still on their offense to try to get something going.
Now, what about Clemson? They go into the locker room and you say, you know, we've screwed all this up on special teams, but we're still ahead.
Yeah, and they have to be pleased with that, because, you know, the other thing is their defense played pretty well. I mean, their defense minus 4 starters.
Right.
They held their own. They held Florida State to under 100 yards of total offense. So they've got to be pretty pleased with the fact, even though they had some things go against them in the kicking game, they went into the locker room with the lead.
Let's check in with Holly. What do you have?
Some early timeouts and confusion on offense. What was going on?
Well, we used some of our timeouts with our defense, which you don't want to do. And then when we're not lined up properly or have the right personnel in the ball game, it usually costs you a timeout. It didn't hurt us.
How do you get it straightened out for the second half?
Well, we just got to execute. We need to get some field position. One time, we were about to get field position on them. We roughed the punter. Next time we get the ball, we're on a 10-yard line. That's 80 yards worth of turnover. You know, so you can't do that. Our defense made up for it by scoring. But we got to get field position. We're no different now than we were last week. We're behind 3. Or the week before, we're behind 7. We're behind 5, and we got to win that second half.
All right, thanks, Coach.
There you go.
Just don't hear guys say "dad gum" all that much anymore. He's just entertaining to listen to.
And he's exactly right. You know, their average starting field position, or their best starting field position that first half, was their own 22-yard line.
Yeah. And they've run the ball a little better. Not much, but a little. Gano to kick it off. Spiller and Ford are deep. Neither one will have a chance to run it back. Clemson will take over at the 20. Let's take a look at all the numbers at the end of the first half. And domination by Clemson over 180-89. And the 9 points all came off of blocked kicks.
But turnovers continuing for Florida State. They're now a -3 in the turnover margin. The rush yardage for Clemson, only 63 yards. That's a little concerning for Tommy Bowden, because 38 of those came on 1 reverse.
Yeah.
So really, for the most part, they did nothing running the football in that first half against this Seminole defense.
I like this kid, though, Will Proctor. Tommy Bowden said he's very pleased with the way he has run this offense. He is very smooth. He is very smart. A senior who has waited his turn. Davis just got back to the line of scrimmage before Geno Hayes took him down. Spiller hasn't played that much from scrimmage, and neither has Merriweather tonight.
And I think we might see a little more of Merriweather in the second half, just because of the nature of the game. I mean, the rushing yardage is pretty tough to go against Florida State right now. He's a little more of a banger. I think we might see a little more of him this second half.
They got Stuckey on track in the second quarter. Taylor made a couple of catches in the second quarter. Wow. Nice pass this time. Davis out of the backfield makes a cut inside the 30 to the 25. Beautiful throw by Proctor as Davis, the tailback, came out of the backfield and picks up 55 yards.
And how do you let number 1, who you know is one of their feature guys, just run untouched? Here he is right here. He's just going to come on a wheel route. They run the inside route, and everybody goes with the wide receiver, Kelly, and nobody picks up Davis. You know he's a go-to guy, and boy, that's just too easy for Will Proctor.
Burned on a big play. Merriweather gets a chance at tailback, and showing you some of that strength, plows his way down to the 20-yard line.
I think his style of running may be more suited for this game because you're going to have to break some tackles. You're not going to have big open creases against this Florida State defense. You're going to have to break some arm tackles and get some extra yardage on your own, and that kind of is right in his wheelhouse.
And he is the strongest player on this team. I like this formation with the two guys on one wing and do a lot off of that. Merriweather again. His strength countered that time as he is swarmed under. Neefy Moffitt, the first guy to hit him 59, and then got some help. Seminoles vaulted into the top 10 after they beat Miami in the opener at the Orange Bowl. We were there for that. When they got a break last week against Troy, had to come from behind in the second half to win that game. He'll run it inside the 10-5. Touchdown, Proctor. A 20-yard run, the longest of the season for Proctor, and he comes up big time.
And a great decision by the young man also.
What great field vision.
And just like Tommy told us, he's going for two again. He says he's not kicking anymore, and he's got Will Proctor still on the field right now.
Boy, and his dad is just so thrilled he's in tears right now. I bet Will feels the same way.
Well, you see the mobility of Will Proctor there. That's the one thing that the coaches told us. The big difference between him and Charlie Whitehurst. He has a lot more mobility than Whitehurst has.
And Florida State had to burn another timeout on special teams this time. And the Boo Birds are here and out at home.
Take a look at the touchdown again. First, you're going to see the great patience by Proctor to sell the fake and wait. And then he gets his head and eyes around, and he has to outrun Timmons to the corner. Then he sees the running lane and makes a great decision to just take it for himself. And that is an outstanding play by the quarterback. Thomas Hunter, the tight end, turned from receiver into blocker, as did Akeem Robinson. And Proctor, a huge touchdown for Clemson.
And Timmons, who they feel may be their best defensive player, really missed him as he came in on trying to pressure.
Well, part of that is because of the fact that Proctor really sold the fake. He held that fake in there, and he wasn't too big of a hurry to get outside. That forced Timmons to really respect it and come downhill a little bit more.
And pretty good numbers in the passing department as well, but that's a huge run for him. And that puts up Clemson 20-9, and now they'll go for two. You were with us at the half. Tommy Bowden said, I'm not kicking it anymore. That's it. Tried for 1 2-point conversion and got it. Boy, the Seminoles have just squandered timeouts tonight.
I still think they're in shell shock a little bit from the pass to James Davis. They were completely out of position, gave up an easy throw, and then Proctor got him to a couple plays later.
Now they put Grisham over on this side and run Merriweather up to the line of scrimmage. The running back on the other side, and Proctor out of the shotgun. Throws to the end zone, incomplete, knocked away by Hayes. So they fail on the 2-point conversion. But quarterback Will Proctor, with a 20-yard run, his longest of the year, gives Clemson the touchdown.
You could say food's my life. I watch my diet. Still, my cholesterol's a little higher than my doctor and I want it to be. We talked about statins, which are a good option. For me, he chose a medicine that helps lower cholesterol differently. Zediac. Most cholesterol medicines work mainly with the liver. Zetia works in the digestive tract, as do some other medicines, but Zetia is unique in the way it helps block the absorption of cholesterol that comes from food. And Zetia, along with a healthy diet, lowered bad cholesterol by as much as 30 points. That's 18%. It complements what I've been doing lately, like eating healthy and exercising. Zetia may not be right for people who have ever had liver problems, are nursing or pregnant, or may become pregnant. Your doctor will decide if Zetia is right for you. Unexplained muscle pain or weakness could be a sign of a rare but serious side effect and should be reported to a doctor right away. Common side effects included tiredness and stomach pain. So eat healthy and ask your doctor if Zetia is right for you. Now you can tell everybody that a waitress gave you a tip. Zetia. It's a different way to help fight cholesterol.
We might have to decide who lives and dies out there. Expect the unexpected.
I'm a rescue swimmer at heart.
Wow, I bet you practiced that all morning. No matter what happens out there, you stay together. Lower me down!
The Guardian, rated PG-13, in theaters September 29th.
Get full from Taco Bell's value menu.
Bruno, what is the holdup?
I'm full.
Not possible. You are hungry, Bruno. 9-time competitive eating champion. You don't get full.
8.5-pound burrito for warm-up.
Hungry Bruno, full!
Introducing Taco Bell's half-pound value menu lineup. Now fill up on any of 3 hefty half-pound burritos to keep your stomach and your wallet full. Think outside the bun.
E-Trade introduces the latest investing technology with an easy-to-use risk analyzer and powerful asset allocation tool for unparalleled control of your portfolio. Is it any wonder investors everywhere find it irresistible? Be enlightened.
ESPN's College Football Primetime is broadcast in high definition and presented by Pioneer Plasma Displays. The Clemson Tigers on top of Florida State. It could be worse, except for 2 blocked kicks. And there is Ray McElrathby. We told you a story in the first half. The young man who was taken custody of his 11-year-old younger brother, Famar, who will live with him, and the NCAA has allowed Clemson to set up a trust, which should be in effect in about a week, in order to help pay their living expenses. And Booker takes it up to the 24. And whoever made that decision for the NCAA should have their salary increased by about 500% and be in charge of everything from now on.
Yeah, they did the right thing, that's for sure. It's a great story. What happened to Ray on the kick coverage? Ouch! Hello! I bet Famar will have a word for him. I mean, you got to keep your head on the swivel running down there, big brother.
Smith and Surratt are the running backs behind Weatherford. Weatherford keeping it. Got out to the 23. The frustration starting to build, Todd.
I want to go back and look at the touchdown. I want to show you something. Now, this is Lawrence Timmons right here. Watch as Will Proctor makes the fake, why this was such a great fake. Because at this point right here, the ball is hidden from Timmons. He doesn't know where the ball is. And because Proctor sold it with his eyes and held that ball into his belly, Timmons took a bad angle. And that's what you tell a quarterback. You have to sell the fake. You have to sell it with your eyes, and you have to hide the ball from that defensive end. That was great.
Boy, he did. His technique was tremendous. Weatherford under pressure, and down he goes. Back at the 20, Gaines Adams had the first shot at him. And they pick up the second sack as the end from the other side. Philip Merling, number 94, finished him off. And they are doing this. They're not blitzing. This is just the front guys.
It's the front guys. And this is a 3-man rush. Gaines Adams just leaps right over Antone Smith. Now, again, that's a mismatch. Why do you have a 180-pound tailback trying to block their best defensive end pass rusher? That's not a good scheme to block Gaines Adams. He's had 2 sacks tonight. One he wasn't blocked at all. That one he was blocked by a tailback.
It's 3 guys putting immediate pressure against the entire offensive line. Weatherford again has this one batted down in his face. The Seminoles offense not producing anything. Absolutely zero against a defense that's missing four starters.
But you know what this defense is not missing? Passion. They are playing with more passion than the Florida State football team. And that's the bottom line. Up front, in the secondary, everywhere on this field right now, other than in the kick units, Clemson has played with more passion than Florida State.
Gano to kick. Beautiful punt.
Boy, it is.
Drives forward all the way back to the 18-yard line. Looking for a block at the sideline. Across the 14-yard return after a 58-yard return. You want to talk about fakes? Let's go back to our Good Hands flashback presented by Allstate. Take you back 6 years to Bowden Bowl VIII. Florida State's second possession of the game. Chris Winkie. Nice fake. And Snoop Minnis has everybody beat for 98 yards. Still the longest touchdown pass in FSU history. Winkie that night threw for 521 yards, and FSU racked them up 54-7. But he wasn't under the kind of pressure on that one that Proctor was earlier tonight. Clemson has it back again. Davis is the tailback, and Davis will get the carry. Wrapped up immediately. In fact, he'll lose a couple. How good has Proctor been in the last two drives? He has been nearly perfect. 6 out of 7 passing, 1 run for 20 yards. Both drives resulted in touchdowns. Can't argue with those numbers.
And a game manager. I mean, as a game manager, he's been terrific. I mean, in a hostile environment, he's even got his dad smiling at this point. He's gone from tears to smile.
I'd love to see his son turn this one into a laugher. He didn't get all the emotions. Spiller taken out of bounds near the 30.
A similar play to that last week against Boston College. C.J. Spiller turned that into an 82-yard touchdown run. This team at Florida State defensively a little more team speed overall than that Boston College defense.
Look, if Clemson hangs on to this, they would be tied with Florida State, but head-to-head is always the first tiebreaker, so they would have the advantage for the rest of the season if they end up tied with each other. And it would be a huge win for them. And now Clemson will use a timeout with 9:13 to go in the third quarter. And the Tigers, who have dominated Florida State at home, leading 20-9. We've got a timeout, 9:13 to go, third quarter. Back after this.
That's good. Get me in there.
There's only one place to be on game day. ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot. Saturdays now starting at 10 a.m.
At your Chrysler dealer, it's all about the best in American and German engineering and design. Like one of the best in safety, the 5-star crash test rated Chrysler Pacifica. Chrysler Town & Country, the highest ranked van in initial quality according to J.D. Power & Associates. And right now, it's all about you. For the first time ever, well-qualified buyers get 0% financing for 72 months on 2006 Town & Country. It's our best offer yet. That's 0% financing for 72 months on one of the best Chrysler vehicles in the best Chrysler lineup ever. Hurry in for this limited time offer.
Young lady.
Why do you insist on treating me like an adult?
Because you insist on acting like one. Now you're getting this new phone.
But it's so small. I really like it. Why is it always what I want?
Well, do you have any idea how much money this is not going to cost me?
I love you.
I know you really mean that.
You never hated me and you never will. You are the most grateful little...
Singular is changing the conversation about cell phones. Introducing the newest Go Phone. Pick your plan or pay as you go and get all you need to make everybody happy. Singular, raising the bar.
Hey, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Oh, and my parents are coming too.
Introducing Red Zone Deep Cleansing Body Wash. The active formula with microbeads. Cleans deep down to the pore.
I thought you said he was a fan.
Old Spice Deep Cleansing Body Wash. Nothing cleans deeper.
Now, get 2 of our handcrafted Ruby Minis with endless servings of our fresh garden bar. All for just $7.99. Only at Ruby Tuesday.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard. And Olivia, redefining high def.
These great shots over Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee, provided by the Outback Steakhouse Airship, the Bloomin' Onion 1. Andrea Daling, the pilot. And the Bloomin' Onion camera operator tonight, Bob Michelson. Reggie Merriweather has come on in the Clemson backfield, and the Tiger fans who made the trip are delighted with what Clemson has done so far. They have been sensational. Blitz coming. Proctor threw. Kelly wasn't ready. Turned around. The ball was already past him.
Good decision by Proctor, though, because at this point now he's got to say, look, they're bringing more than we can block. I don't want to take a sack, and I don't want to force a bad throw for an interception. Get rid of it. If we have to punt, let's go ahead and punt. But the game is going our way right now. Let's not do something to let Florida State have a short field and get right back into it.
Cole chasing, and right now you have to think the best way for Florida State to get back into it is on special teams. Will they rush? Will they get a big return? They need some spark. Pressure, they didn't get there. Davis, with no blocking back there as they had the rush on, is pulled down. Here is tonight's Aflac trivia question. What school has won the most ACC football titles? We'll let you chew on that for a second. And also, who's the voice of the duck? I'll bet you don't know that one. I do.
You know, one thing, I'm a little surprised. Jeff Bowden told us yesterday that Greg Carr was not going to get as many reps because they were a little disappointed with his effort. But I don't think he's been on the field yet tonight, number 89. Led the ACC with touchdowns last year, and they need a spark out of somebody on their offense.
Weatherford, good protection this time, and throws behind his intended receiver. And there is Carr on the sideline. That pass was intended for Davis. And Carr, a big target at 6'6", had 4 catches coming into this game. Preseason, many of the magazines said he was first-team All-ACC.
Yeah. Well, they were a little down on his effort, and they said, you know, in some of our 3 wide receiver sets, we may not play him early on, but apparently they've decided they don't want to play him very much at all, because I don't think he's been in the game yet tonight.
Weatherford, 5 out of 11, only 47 yards. Wide receivers haven't been involved much at all. There's Cody Fagg taken down to 45-yard line. Let's check in with Holly Rowe. Holly?
Well, guys, the coaches did say Greg Carr wasn't playing with the effort they wanted, and so they were going to give other guys an opportunity. But I think he got the message because 2 hours before the game, when the kickers come out, Greg Carr was out here running routes, having somebody throw to him. So I think he was trying to send that message to the coaches that he's willing to do the extra things that it takes. But so far, they haven't rewarded him with getting him in the game much. He did play a little bit in the first half, but no balls have been thrown to him.
And Holly, sometimes you just have to do that to shake somebody up and get them on the same page with everybody else. Cody Fagg belted by Coleman, who's had a couple of good hits in this ball game. Knocked out of bounds, but he has the first down. Coleman only moved to the defensive backfield in the 3rd game last year. He had been a running back before, and he is a major hitter out there.
Physical guy, had 9 tackles at Boston College last week. Cody Fagg continues to be the leading receiver for this Florida State team. Haven't seen Weatherford hook up with his main guy, Chris Davis, much tonight.
Once again, they'll go on the little hitch. This one to Shaw, and he'll pick up a couple. Let's go to Reese Davis. Reese?
All right, Mike, the primetime Pulse games on both the ESPN networks and ABC right now. USC and Nebraska just started the second half, and there's Andre Jones breaking up a pass for the Huskers and forcing USC to punt on its opening series of the second half. On ESPN2 right now, a game being played in San Antonio, Texas A&M and Army just about to end the first quarter. They're tied at 7.
All right, thanks, Reese. Florida State looking for something good to happen on offense, and it's not going to be in the ground game as Lorenzo Booker dancing in the backfield. And Antonio Clay, who moves up to the middle linebacker starting spot because of injuries, was in on the tackle.
And that's not a play that looks like it had a lot of chance to bounce outside. Only 98 total yards. Boy, oh boy, just
very un-Florida State-like,
yes,
isn't it?
It really is. You know, we watched them against Miami. We said, well, Miami's defense, we expected them to be pretty good.
Right.
Clemson playing with -4 starters, and they're just handing it to Florida State right now.
And Carr is on the field right now, and Louisville handed it to Miami earlier on this day. Dakota Fagg with a catch, knocked out of bounds, a yard and a half, maybe shy of a first down. So perhaps Miami was not as good as we gave them credit for in that game against Florida State. Perhaps they are. Now, do you go for it here, middle of the third quarter?
I think you do go for it. I think you need to send a message to your team that, you know what? Desperate times require desperate measures, and we are in a little bit of a desperation right now. We did not play well last week against Troy. We've got to get something going here tonight.
They need a yard and a half. They have to reach the 41-yard line. Surratt and Booker, the running backs, and they're going to run it with Surratt, and Surratt uses that power to get down close to the 40-yard line in the first down. Now, they've used him before. We saw in the Miami game. Very good in short yardage.
He's a straight-ahead north and south runner. I mean, he is going to just bullet in there. He's done it well in the end zone, and that was a crucial short yardage conversion for Joe Surratt.
Yeah, I don't think at 254 he's going to go prancing outside too often, but he's gotten the tough yardage when they've called on him. Fresh set of downs for the Seminoles. Weatherford, good protection. Now it breaks down, and he takes off. And Weatherford's got to get on the ground and is taken down at the 34-yard line. And it was Cavell Connor, backup linebacker, who was in on the stop.
I think they were looking to try to take a shot down the field on this one. Pretty good coverage downfield, and Weatherford makes a smart decision. Tuck that ball. You've got some momentum. You just converted on fourth down. Don't throw the ball away. Don't force a bad throw. Get what you can get and play second down.
Go, dude!
Surratt hammers inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. You succeed and you're rewarded. Surratt gets another carry.
The other thing that is really good for Florida State right now, you've converted a little bit, you've got some momentum, and you're also allowing your defense to rest a little bit, because this Clemson offense has put some pressure on the Seminole defense.
Remember, the Florida State offense has not scored in this game yet.
Right. Well, they had to come from behind in both of their first two wins against Miami and Troy.
Booker, nice cut this time. Booker inside the 15 to the 14. Well, the first two games this year, somebody has thrown a switch in the second half, and they have awakened.
But this was a good decision by Booker. Rather than dancing, he had a nice cutback lane and a nice quick decision. No dancing in the hole. He planted his left foot, made a nice cutback, and then went straight up the field.
Well, here's a remarkable statistic for you. For a running back, that is the first carry of more than 10 yards this year for Florida State. This is the second half of the third game. Booker again. Nice cut there. Then he lost his footing. and wiggles down to about the 12. Todd, they had a very complicated checkoff system at the line of scrimmage, and I know your dad was an offensive line coach, and offensive line coaches don't like all those checks.
Well, they don't. They like to be able, at least some of the time, to call play in the huddle, to come up, line up, get in a three-point stance, and fire off the ball and just go block somebody. And even if they change the defense on you, hey, let's still try to execute it. And I think they've simplified that. They're still doing some checks, but I've seen a lot more plays where Florida State has called a play and lined up and run the ball.
12th play of this drive. Smith is the new tailback, number 6. Booker's had a big workload on this drive, and Surratt will get the carry. Stays on his feet, dragging tacklers with him. Still moves the pile down to the 8. As an offensive line coach, was your dad disappointed you turned out to be an All-American quarterback?
No, he was okay with that. He was all right with that. Here's a checkoff now. Drew Weatherford is checking off, but he's checking from a run to another run. So he's just changing the line of scrimmage. You see those offensive linemen in that three-point stance. They still get the fire off on the ball and block somebody. We've seen more of this out of Florida State's running game tonight than we saw in the first 2 games.
Well, the first guy's not going to get Surratt.
No.
Big third down. Weatherford. Incomplete. Should have been a touchdown to Richard Goodman. Holy cow. Weatherford put it right there.
And Richard Goodman is the guy who's getting more of the reps in the stead of Greg Carr. He's got the ball, he just can't grab it.
Oh. Now they'll go for a 25-yard field goal. That could have cut the lead to a field goal.
Yep. Well, still, if he makes this, it's still a 2-possession or a 1-possession game.
They cut it to 8. Sizmaja got it inside the right upright. So it's 20-12 with 3:19 to go in the ball game. A 14-play drive that went 54 yards.
At your Chrysler dealer, it's all about the best in American and German engineering and design. Like the best in style and performance, Chrysler 300, the most awarded new car ever. Town & Country, the highest ranked van in initial quality according to J.D. Power & Associates. And right now, it's all about you. For the first time ever, well-qualified buyers get 0% financing for 72 months on 2006 Town & Country. It's our best offer yet. Get 0% financing for 72 months on one of the best Chrysler vehicles in the best Chrysler lineup ever. Hurry in for this limited time offer.
Don't try to be a hero, man. This will all be over in 5 minutes.
The best new show of the season is on ABC.
52 hours ago.
The 9 premieres Wednesday, October 4th, after the season premiere of Lost, only on ABC.
John, we have the new high speed. It's way faster than DSL. Show 'em. It's a pagoda.
Tell me you have more.
Welcome back to Tallahassee. Bowden Bowl VIII has been a good one. It's 20-12 late third quarter as Florida State's offense has gotten on the board for the first time tonight. Their special teams had provided the rest of the points.
What are those hats? Those must be like ice hats or cool or cold water or something.
Look good on you.
We might need one of those up in the booth. It's hot up here.
You can have
Oh, look.
mine.
Great. There you go.
Well, we'll get you one next week. You got to promise to wear it, though. And I'll promise not to wear mine. Jacoby Ford for Gano's kickoff is the deep end. And Spiller is on the other side. He's up around the 10. And Gano puts it in the end zone. Clemson was really eyeing any possible onside kick there. This is also the Trickery Bowl between these two. The answer to tonight's Aflac trivia question: what school has won the most ACC football titles? We'll get with the program. It's a Clemson-Florida State game, so which one of them do you think has won the most? Clemson. Florida State with one fewer, 12, but they only joined the conference in '92. Maryland has won 9.
Well, Will Proctor, the quarterback for Clemson, has played an outstanding ball game to this point. This is maybe the most important drive of the game for him because Florida State's defense is rested. Their offense just put some points on the board. He's got to be very smart with the football right here. He has shown great decision-making so far in the ball game. He really needs to zero in on that right now.
Davis couldn't hear what they had changed to, and Proctor had to use the timeout. Very, very loud in here. A flag went down on a play. I mean, there's more than 82,000, the overwhelming majority Seminole fans.
Well, Tommy Bowden was running on the sideline trying to call timeout. I think they're going to give him the timeout before there was a penalty.
Dead ball foul, delay of game, 14 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Apparently not.
No, obviously Will Proctor was not aware of the play clock. He was trying to make a check at the line of scrimmage, and Tommy was running up to the official trying desperately to call timeout. You know, head coach is allowed to call timeout from the sideline.
Only the third penalty against Clemson tonight. They have been very error-free outside of the kicking game.
The loudest this Florida State crowd has been for a long while as well.
Proctor with time completes it short to Kelly. Let's go to Reese Davis.
All right, Mike, no receiver in USC history has caught more touchdown passes than Dwayne Jarrett. USC and Nebraska, John David Booty finding Jarrett there. That, the 31st touchdown catch of his USC career. He's one away from the Pac-10 record.
All right, thanks, Reese. And you've got John David Booty out at USC, replacing Matt Leinart. You've got Will Proctor here. Same story. Waited behind Charlie Whitehurst for a chance to play, and boy, has he played well. Can't blame him for last week's loss. He's done a great job tonight. This one is incomplete, intended for Stuckey, and he missed him.
And one of the other interesting things about Proctor is last year, because Charlie Whitehurst had so many shoulder problems, as you take a look at some of the other big-time starting quarterbacks at big-time programs this year. John David Booty, we saw him the first week of the season at Arkansas. Very impressive, as has Will Proctor been tonight.
Third and 10. Proctor, that one was behind Grisham. He caught it anyway. This kid's got great hands.
Now I think they're waving it off.
One official said he caught it. Another one comes in and says incomplete. And now they say it is complete. But it will be short of a first down.
Ball was a little behind Grisham, bobbling as he went down, and well, I don't think he ever had possession of that ball.
You're right. I don't think he did either on the replay.
No, they marked it. They called it incomplete. That was the right call by the officiating crew.
Chasing to punt.
There's nobody out on the wide guy on the punt team. I don't know if you want to take a shot at, but nobody covering the outside guy.
Now they see it. Boy, and he was wide open, too. High and short. Fair catch made after a 33-yard punt. Let's go to Holly.
Well, guys, you were talking about those funky hoods that the Clemson players were wearing, but they've got even more funky equipment down here. This is called the temperature management system. This is oxygen, cold air that is blowing into these tubes. They actually hook it into the back of the player's shoulder pads. There's an air bladder in the shoulder pad that is filled with air, and it's cold air. The purpose of this is to keep their core body temperature down to help prevent dehydration and cramping. So, guys, between the hood and, I don't know, this looks like something from Star Trek or maybe The Matrix. So I guess resistance is futile, but they're trying to stop the cramps, guys.
Thanks, Holly. Get one of those hats for Todd. He's wearing it next week. Weatherford dropped another one. That one was right in the hands of Davis.
You know, and that looked to me like a case where a guy, he kind of fought the ball. You know, instead of just, he didn't even have to jump, I don't think. If he just keeps running, he maybe makes the catch easily, but he jumps and just kind of fought the ball. He wants to make a big catch so badly, just not able to haul that one in. But I like the call because Florida State has run the ball well enough in this game, the best they've run it all year, to make play action a factor.
Smith close to a first down in Clemson territory at the 43. Chris Clemens, the free safety, had to make the stop. They're getting bigger holes up front.
They are, because they've got the Clemson defense guessing a little bit. I mean, the numbers are not staggering for Florida State's offense by any means, but they've had the most balanced run-pass that they've had all season.
Well, when you're averaging 23 yards a game, doesn't take a whole lot to improve, but it's noticeable when you do. What do you do on 3rd and 1? Quarterback keeper. And it looks like Weatherford, by about a half a yard, will have a first down.
See, I'd come right back on this first down and go play action again and take a shot down the field. Try to get a big chunk. Maybe look for your tight end, Brandon Warren, on something down the field. Here comes Greg Carr into the ball game. Maybe take a shot for him.
He's their biggest receiver at 6'6". This could be the last play of the 3rd quarter. There's Carr, the young man out of Fayetteville, Georgia. Instead, they'll give it off on the ground to Smith, and he pays the price as he's drilled by C.J. Gaddis, who's been playing with a bad foot. That's the end of 3 quarters. Clemson with the lead at Florida State.
Notre Dame, Michigan State, or USC, Arizona, next Saturday at 8.
With Fidelity, it's easy to set up automatic trades, so you can be trading all the time. Even if you can't be trading all the time. Fidelity's got advanced order trading that lets you trade automatically. What's your online broker got?
Hello?
Fidelity. Smart move.
This is Gary Poole, a genial guy from Trenton, New Jersey. Gary's been married for almost 10 years, but until a recent trip to McDonald's, didn't know it. Gary had fresh brewed premium roast coffee with his McGriddles, and it was like he was seeing her for the very first time.
He had no idea we were married.
Gary thought she was cute, so it was okay.
It's like we're newlyweds all over again.
Start your morning with richer, bolder premium roast coffee and add a warm, tasty McGriddles. Wake up and smell your life.
I hope there aren't any other wives.
At your Chrysler dealer, it's all about the best in American and German engineering and design. Like one of the best in safety, the 5-star crash test rated Chrysler Pacifica. Chrysler Town & Country, the highest ranked van in initial quality according to J.D. Power & Associates. And right now, it's all about you. For the first time ever, well-qualified buyers get 0% financing for 72 months on 2006 Town & Country. It's our best offer yet. That's 0% financing for 72 months on one of the best Chrysler vehicles in the best Chrysler lineup ever. Hurry in for this limited time offer.
Introducing Gillette Fusion. On the front, 5 blades, and on the back, the first ever precision trimmer, perfect for under the nose, straightening sideburns, and around facial hair. The best shave ever. In manual and battery power, Gillette Fusion.
deluxe double shot. Make today the day.
My dad got this special deck. We never have to stain it. Then my dad built this wall all by himself. Then my dad got this, a fire pit. Wow, your dad must be cool. Not really.
Don't miss the Home Depot Home Show. Discover hundreds of today's smartest, most innovative ideas for your home. Now you can create a beautiful stack stone look in half the time, and much more. Now at the Home Depot Home Show.
With over 1.5 million vehicle listings to choose from on Cars.com, you can find the right car for you.
Blue is?
Find the right car for you. Cars.com.
A lot of stadiums have put up statues outside. This is one of the best. A tribute to the Seminole people who never did sign a peace treaty with the United States. They are still unconquered and living all over the state of Florida, many of them still in the Everglades. And the Seminoles adopted the nickname here at Florida State, and very proud to be associated with that Indian tribe. 15 minutes of football still to come your way here, and it's 20-12. Clemson, Florida State with the ball. Smith trying to get outside and can't. When you run to the side where Dwayne Coleman is, you're going to get drilled.
Yeah, you better have your chin strap buttoned up because he is a physical guy. In Florida State, you look now, first two games, 23 yards per game. They were 118th out of 119 teams tonight. Again, 83 is not a huge number, but it's good enough that it has set some other things up for Florida State.
3rd and 9. Clemson with 4 on the line of the scrimmage. A couple of more guys creeping up. Weatherford with time and completes it to the 14-yard line. Chris Davis with a catch, 27 yards and a first down. All at once, the Seminole offense has come alive.
Yep, great pass protection against a 4-man rush. Davis is in the slot. Here he is right here. It's just going to run the vertical right down the seam. You got a vertical on the outside. You throw 4 verticals. And a nice job by Weatherford sticking that ball in before the safety could get over the top.
Clemson shows blitz here. And running right into it is Antoine Smith.
And right now, Tommy Bowden has to be a little concerned about the fatigue of his Clemson defense. In the first half, Florida State only ran 23 offensive plays. Well, they ran 21 in the third quarter, and they are still moving in the same drive here to start the fourth quarter. Talked about the injuries. They don't have as much depth coming into tonight's ball game. Vic Koenig, the defensive coordinator, I think they've had a very nice game plan for Florida State, but fatigue definitely will be a factor here in this fourth quarter.
I mean, they lost the heart of this defense. 2 great linebackers and their safety. Here comes the blitz. Weatherford runs away from pressure. And then takes a belt at the 12. Coming up from the secondary was Creston Butler, who just drilled him. Let's go to Reese Davis.
All right, Mike, check in right now on the prime time pulse. Nebraska still losing to USC 21-3, and Army's beating Texas A&M on ESPN2. Now, this is part of what has been so far a disastrous day for the Big 12. 0-5 they're staring at against other BCS conference teams.
Yikes, 0-5. 3rd and 7. Huge play here for Florida State. Weatherford gives off on the direct handoff, and inside the 5 goes Smith. What a call there. Anton Smith on 3rd and long, just a straight tailback dive.
Everybody thinking pass for Clemson, Jeff Bowden saying, hey, this defense might be tired. We've got some momentum. Let's drive them off the ball. Excellent job blocking up there. Corey Niblock, Jackie Claude in there. That's just power.
And from a guy who's only 5'9", 188.
Yep.
Surratt comes in. Smith remains at tailback. Clemson nearly jumped, and Rutherford wants to change the play. Smith bounces outside and will lose a yard.
Even though Smith had a nice run on that last play on 3rd down, they really don't have a big power back when they get in this part of the field. I mean, Surratt's a fullback, and he's going to do certain things.
Right.
Booker's not much bigger than Antone Smith. They do have a freshman, Matt Dunham, who Jeff Bowden said he wants to develop him into a short yardage and goal line back. He's listed as 6'2", 257, but an excellent skilled runner. Just hasn't been able to work him into that role yet. But it's nice to have a little more of a power back to give the ball to when you get down inside the 10-yard line.
2nd and goal. Smith, a little counter to the 1. Almost squirted in there. Good block by Surratt.
Yes, sir. We've seen him run it. He's the lead blocker. Does a nice job of collapsing that side down. And Antone Smith, if he keeps his balance, he probably falls into the end zone.
Spotted at the 1. 3rd and goal. Clemson trying to change personnel. Tight formation for the Seminoles. 2 tight ends. Surratt. Touchdown. They can tie it if they go for 2. And Surratt's done the job on short yardage, hasn't he?
Yep. The last 2 Florida State drives, they've had 26 plays. They wore down the Clemson defense, particularly the defensive front, on that particular drive.
For the Seminoles, all 3 games this year have been playing with fire.
Yep.
Been forced to come from behind in the second half in all of them. Booker will come in as they will go for 2 to tie it. 3 wide receivers, including Carr. Weatherford. 2 points. Chris Davis wide open. And Weatherford just flipped it into the end zone. We're tied at 20 in Tallahassee, and 82,000 people are going nuts.
There is a secret school
New students press 1.
Is this a recording?
Press the damn button.
where men with no confidence
How many of you want to self-help book?
are changed by a man
Can't help yourself because yourself sucks.
with no limits.
Kill or be killed.
John Heater.
Maybe I'll teach the class.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Game on, Roger.
With Ben Stiller.
I need your help. Go ahead, shoot me. Right now. Do me. What?
School for Scoundrels. Rated PG-13.
Why you always get the front seat?
Because I have the higher education.
What you
I
mean?
took honors classes.
In high school.
Hey, it's Bobby Bowden.
I'm going to touch him.
Now would be a good time to have accident forgiveness.
I'm still going to touch him.
Part of Allstate Your Choice Auto Insurance. Are you in good hands?
That wasn't him.
But you still touched him.
Introducing the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe with electronic stability control. Standard. Proof that even something with wheels can be sure-footed.
You got everything?
Yeah.
And
any bags today?
Not today.
Computers, cell phones, electronic devices out of your bags, please.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Luggage.
No.
Hello.
Got it.
Do you have everything?
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get started.
With Microsoft software, you've got what you need in the palm of your hand.
Does it make phone calls too?
How did you become such a great master?
Yellowbook.com.
Yellowbook.com?
Everyone is searching for something.
Isn't Yellowbook.com for buying stuff?
After all, it is a material world. Let's say pizza makes you happy. Just type in what and where.
But master, how do you show them the way?
Yellowbook.com has a map feature. Infinite information. Yellowbook.com.
Quick, local, reliable.
Surratt gets the tying touchdown, his third of the year. We're now tied at 20. 10:27 to go in the ball game. If you're a Clemson Tiger fan, the last 6 losses have been tough ones to put up with. 18 points, the cumulative total, and that includes 1 in double overtime last week when they had an extra point blocked against Boston College.
And if you're thinking overtime, Clemson has lost their last 3 overtime games that they've played. Prior to that, they had won 5 in a row, but they've lost their last 3.
Seminoles to kick. Gano to the Speed Merchants. This time he is kicking into a slight wind, and they'll have a chance to return it. Spiller, the sprint champion, dives out near the 25-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown, Todd.
Well, Surratt's going to do a nice job of just sidestepping Antonio Clay, who's going to come unblocked. But Surratt's going to have his eyes up, and he's just going to kind of sidestep to his left and avoid the oncoming Clay. And then on the 2-point conversion, you've got Carr going to the back of the end zone. Davis is underneath. And that's what Weatherford's going to read. He's going to see the attention go to Carr at the back of the end zone. Davis will come underneath, and he just flips him the ball for the 2-point conversion.
Carr drew 3 of them, didn't he?
Yep, sure did.
Davis, the tailback. How does Clemson respond to the tying touchdown? Davis, a little counter. Slipped 1 tackle. Will pick up about 3. Let's go to Reese.
All right, Mike, I mentioned the disastrous day for the Big 12 so far. That doesn't include this game. Army and Texas A&M. Army breaking out the reverse. Check out this run by Corey Anderson. Relentless, breaking tackles for the Black Knights of the Hudson. They're tied up with A&M getting late in the first half. It's on ESPN2. Locked up at 14.
Gotta love it when Army and Navy play well.
Yeah.
It used to be such a huge part of college football. Floated down the sidelines, out of bounds. That was caught by Spiller, but he was running out of bounds. Wasn't even close.
Well, Florida State's defense starting to tighten the screws a little bit. Ever since Clemson took that 20-9 lead in this game, the next 2 Clemson possessions, Florida State 3 and out with their defense. And they have another opportunity to make it 3 in a row, 3 and out.
And you talked about Clemson's defense looking a little bit tired, so Clemson's offense needs to get a first down here and give them a breather.
Absolutely right.
3rd and 8. Davis and Spiller in the backfield together. 3-man rush. Proctor with time. Incomplete. It'll bring up a 4th down. Intended for Kelly. McClure and Bryant with excellent coverage.
Well, we've seen Proctor hit this route earlier in the game. It's a single receiver isolation, but double coverage. Both guys in position. The ball is thrown low.
That could have been caught.
Yeah, it was low, but he could have got underneath it.
I mean, that's what he's on scholarship for. That wasn't a bad throw at all. Chasen to punt to Davis. Seminoles should get good field position. They're looking like they want to put some pressure on. High snap. Gets it out of there. A nice kick under the circumstances. Davis back to the 26. belted and driven back after he reached the 30. 4-yard return after a punt of 47. Now let's take a look at the ESPNU All-State Standings Review. And boy, we're going to have to check on stuff after today. Ohio State still on top of the pack. Notre Dame just got munched up by Michigan. Auburn, a tremendous game and a win over LSU. USC is leading against Nebraska. West Virginia won big on Thursday night. LSU, good-looking ball club. Florida playing at Tennessee tonight. First and 10 Seminoles. Can they get another drive going? Booker. Not getting that penetration from Clemson's defense right now. Check in with Reese. He has a 30-30 update.
All right, Mike, it was separation Saturday, taking the stage on 30-30. Michigan and Notre Dame. 3 touchdown catches for Mario Manningham. Wolverines win at 47-21. Auburn beats LSU. This, the last play of the game. Jamarcus Russell throwing the pass, but not getting it into the end zone. Sports Center after the game. ESPN News always. College football final at midnight.
Booker. Well, they found something against this defense. Clay makes the tackle, but well downfield, and it's close to a first down.
Well, it was interesting. When we talked to Bobby Bowden on Friday, he said, you know, after the game against Troy, I came up to my office and I got the offensive tapes and watched our offense right after the game. And the biggest thing he said he saw was indecision on his offensive lineman's part. And that's why they made this decision to kind of simplify the checkoff system. And we have seen a much more aggressive running game out of Florida State tonight.
3rd and 1. Surratt is belted. Did not get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to be 4th down and a yard.
What a rise to the occasion by a Clemson defense that you know is tired. They've gotten gashed by a couple plays here in this second half.
Darrell Scott, the nose man, said not this time. Now they're looking to the Florida State sideline. Maybe a little early to have a gamble like this. 7:05 and counting.
Yeah, you have to punt the football here. You have to punt the football because your defense has gotten 3 straight 3-and-out. So you got to figure that they're playing their game right now. Punt the football and let your defense play. Don't give Clemson the short field against your defense.
So Gano has had a pretty good night with nearly a 41-yard average. Will kick to Jacoby Ford. Already has the longest ever punt return in Clemson history. 92. Fair catch here just inside the 15-yard line. Pretty 46-yard kick and no return for Gano. We are down to 6:31 in a tie game, 2020.
Introducing the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe with electronic stability control. Standard. Proof that even something with wheels can be sure-footed.
Remember, when you hit the water, I need you to hydroplane out of control. Remember, out of control. Cut! No, cut! Okay, fire the stunt driver.
The Michelin Hydro Edge with Michelin-engineered hydro chutes. It's our best performing tire in its class. Michelin, a better way forward. Hydro Edge tires perform in all weather conditions and now come with an all-season 90,000-mile limited warranty.
That's good. Get me in there.
There's only one place to be on game day. ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot. Saturdays now starting at 10 a.m.
For 38 years, Thomas Motor Cars has been giving value beyond what customers expect. It's a tradition that has helped us sell a lot of Pontiacs, GMCs, and pre-owned cars and trucks. We want to say thanks to all our customers for making us successful. Here's the Thomas promise. We won't let anybody, anywhere beat our price on a new Pontiac or GMC. And we'll give you great service after you buy. So come see us. We're on Highway 90, 9 minutes west of I-10.
Thomas Motor Cars, Pontiac GMC, right here in my hometown of Quincy.
Do you owe the IRS? Are you having trouble sleeping at night? You should turn to someone you can trust. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, you should turn to the law offices of Ronnie Deutsch. Over the last 14 years, they've helped their clients save millions of dollars with the IRS. Millions of dollars. You shouldn't be another IRS victim. The IRS will stop at nothing to collect from you. Call 1-800-754-0606 for your free and confidential tax analysis. Call 1-800-754-0606.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Hyundai, award-winning quality backed by America's best warranty. Hyundai, it's time to rethink everything. And Michelin, a better way forward.
These great aerial shots courtesy of our friends at Outback Steakhouse, proud sponsor of the Outback Bowl. The Outback Steakhouse airship, the Bloomin' Onion 1, with aerial coverage for sporting events across the country. Andrea Daling, the pilot, on a beautiful night to fly in Tallahassee, Florida.
Well, if you're Clemson right now, what you need two things. You need your offensive line, this senior-laden group, to step up. And you need Chancey Stuckey, your go-to receiver, number 2, who hasn't caught a pass in the second half, to make some plays for you.
Clemson hasn't won here in nearly 20 years. Can they pull it off? Down the middle, Stuckey double-teamed, incomplete. Good defense. Myron Roll was back there along with Roger Williams, and he was right in between them.
Well, Florida State well aware of who the go-to guy is in this Clemson offense. 2 guys right there. Roger Williams just read the eyes of Stuckey and reached his hand in at the very end, and Myron Roll coming over the top for help. Well, that's a good-looking freshman safety, Myron Roll. He
out of Galloway, New Jersey, the highest recruited defensive player in the country. Proctor 2 out of 8 this half. They'll need to hit a couple here.
Fumble the snap.
Fumble. Both teams saying they got it.
I think Nathan Bennett came up with it. Number 63. No, it wasn't him. There's somebody in there.
Looked like Grisham may have gotten a number 13. And now they say the Seminoles have it.
You know what the difference was there? The last guy I see get off the ground was Jacoby Ford, a freshman wide receiver who weighs 180 pounds. And Lawrence Timmons, the defensive outside linebacker, is the guy who's going to come on the ball. Jacoby Ford had it, and Timmons stole it from him on the pile. I mean, that's just a bigger guy ripping the ball out of the hands of a smaller guy. Ball's on the ground. Jacoby Ford has it first, and Timmons is just going to wrestle it out of his arms.
You're right. The biggest, strongest guy wins. And the Seminoles with another huge break. First and goal from the 8.
Well, they're going to review it. Review it whether Jacoby Ford was down and had possession.
Interesting.
You saw Drew Weatherford was upset. He was trying to get the snap off before they could have a chance to review it. Good job.
Now, they say he had possession. It doesn't matter what happens after. If he's on the ground and has the ball, play's over. That's going to be a tough call, isn't it?
Well, I think he had it. It's just a matter of whether anybody saw that he, had it and what they called, because he... Wow.
Well, he's got it right there,
if
but
two guys have it together, it goes to the offense, right?
And Timmons certainly had his hands on the ball at the same time. They might overturn this. What an enormous call this would be. Now, the call on the field goes to Florida State.
Yeah.
So you have to have indisputable video evidence to overturn it. So the advantage is to the Seminoles going into the replay.
Further review, it is ruled that there was joint possession of the ball on the ground. Therefore, the fumble goes to the offensive team. It goes back to Clemson. 3rd and 8 at the spot of the end ball.
Certainly the Seminole fans aren't going to like that call, but the rule is the rule, and it was interpreted perfectly, I thought.
Absolutely correct.
Now, Coach Bowden not happy, but you could see there was simultaneous possession. And it was a great call for you, Todd, because you said, you know, they both have it, goes to the offense. Yeah, that Coach Bowden, the elder Coach Bowden, not the younger Coach Bowden. He's happy.
Well, it's still a difficult situation for the Clemson offense. Will Proctor, again, has to be smart with the football. Florida State's defense has really come alive here in the second half.
It is 3rd and 15, even though they get the ball back. Still 3rd and long, 3-man rush. Proctor just looking for anybody, throws underneath. That one's incomplete. So they'll have to punt it out of there. The 4th straight 3 and out forced by the Florida State defense. They've come alive in the second half.
And you just get a feel that this Florida State defense has really kind of drawn a bead on what Will Proctor wants to do throwing the football. The coverage is a lot tighter here in the last 4 or 5 possessions than it was earlier in the ball game.
That switch that they have thrown in the second half of all 3 games, Bobby Bowden's going to be looking for that sucker and try to flip it in the first quarter from now on. Clemson will have to kick out of the end zone. Davis from the 47.
Good coverage.
Got 2 yards, and that was it. 39-yard punt, 2-yard return. Florida State with great field position. Nick Watkins was down to make the tackle.
Well, if you had to pick what were the key plays of the game, it had to be the 2 block kicks that Florida State got, because it resulted in 9 points. The block extra point returned by Tony Carter, then a block field goal returned by the same guy, Tony Carter, for a touchdown. 9 points out of Florida State's total of 20, directly the result of block kicks.
And at that point, Tommy Bowden had seen enough of his kicking team.
I'm just curious if he's going to stick to what he told Holly going into halftime, if it comes down to a chance to win on a kick.
Weatherford trying to get out of trouble. Slips 3 tackles and got back to midfield. Let's go to Reese Davis.
All right, Mike, the prime-time Pulse, Nebraska and USC on ABC. Zach Taylor ran in on 4th and goal on a bootleg to get the Huskers into the end zone for the first time tonight. 21-10, still a lot of time to go in the 4th quarter there. And over on ESPN2, Texas A&M and Army going to halftime. Black Knights of the Hudson hanging in there, tied at 14.
2nd and 14 with the clock running. Seminoles at midfield in the tie game. Booker on the draw. Fumble! Florida State got it back. Weatherford at the midfield mark. Nick Watkins, number 32, knocked it loose. The Seminoles got a break. It came right back to him.
Well, we have talked about this Florida State defense in the last 4 or 5 possessions. This Clemson defense has played well all night. Watkins forces the fumble, and Weatherford alertly falls on it. But 2 big-time plays in a row for the Clemson defense, and now 3rd and long for the Seminole offense.
Under 3.5 minutes left. Carr, that big 6'6" receiver, is in the ball game. Top of your screen. Weatherford, good protection, throws underneath. That won't get it done. They'll be about 8 yards shy of a first down as Goodman makes the catch. But Watkins is right there to bring him down.
Well, we've seen Gano drive some deep punts. The question now, can he pooch one? Can he drop one down inside the 10-yard line and allow that Florida State defense, which has been pretty much suffocating here in the 4th quarter, to do its job?
4th is deep. Clemson letting this clock run down. You see the difference between the game clock and the play clock. Clemson puts on a little pressure. .222 to go in the ball game. Will it be the conclusion of Bowden Bowl VIII, or are we looking at overtime in Tallahassee?
Later on SportsCenter, a blowout in South Bend. What's next for Michigan and the Irish? Separation Saturday insanity down to the last play in Auburn and Oregon. And a must-win NFL game in Week 2. SportsCenter after the game.
Thursday.
Whose panties are on the bulletin board?
A new season and a new night.
It's always one of mine, always.
The season premiere of Grey's Anatomy. Thursday at 9/8 Central only on ABC.
Introducing the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe with electronic stability control. Standard. Proof that even something with wheels can be sure-footed.
Introducing the new Ultimate Cheese Snacker from KFC. 100% chicken breast smothered in a blend of cheddar and Swiss, topped with crisp lettuce freshly prepared on a sesame seed bun. And like the original KFC Snacker, it's only 99 cents. Now your dollar goes further at KFC.
The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be.
Introducing the new limited edition Tony Stewart line, only by Old Spice.
Honesty, privacy, respect, and great rates. That's why people who use eLoan are spreading the word. Those are just some of the revolutionary ways we're changing the lending industry. eLoan, radically simple.
When you need to send someone money in a hurry, Western Union offers you the Gold Card Rewards program. It quickly pulls your information, saving you time and paperwork.
Your brother Scotty.
For every story, Western Union.
Chad Dean was just warming up on the Clemson sideline, hoping to get another chance to kick. Tommy Bowden says he's done with that. He told us at halftime after a couple of blocks and 3 blocks in the last 2 weeks. Last time they won here, almost 20 years ago.
And the last time Clemson got a first down was 2 minutes into the third quarter.
Seems like 20 years ago. Proctor gives it off to Davis. We asked him at the half about those blocks, and here's what he had to say.
I'm not kicking anymore. I don't know. That's it.
For the rest of the night?
People, oh, yeah, that's it. I'm through kicking. I'm through kicking. That's it.
I know he said that, but I got to believe if they go to overtime and he doesn't get it in the end zone, he's got to try to kick the field goal with Chad Dean again.
Well, Dean hasn't been the problem. It's he hasn't had a chance.
You're right.
Nice job by Holly Rowe to get that information. Davis blocking in front.
Nice.
And they get out of the deepest part of their own end out to the 31, a first down. Now they got some room to operate.
Their most effective runs have been straight up inside, right under the center, a little trap, pulling the guard, and just running straight north and south. Let those defensive linemen come upfield and run right by him.
Clock running. Clemson looking to the sideline for signals. And Proctor trying to tell his linemen.
Clemson has 2 timeouts as well.
Proctor throws, and they're up to the 47-yard line. Good catch by Kelly. Another first down. 1:01 left, a gain of 18 yards. Can Proctor get them in field goal range? And if he does, will they try it?
Well, we showed you that graphic the last time Clemson won here in 1989. The quarterback of that team was a 5th-year senior as well.
To the 30. Davis. 10. Down to the 2. Holy cow.
You know what Clemson did there? They had mass substitutions, and then they lined up and went on a quick count, and they caught the Florida State defense unaware. Look at all the defenders standing up. They lined up and went on a quick count and fooled the Florida State defense.
What a call. Now they're going to mark this closer to the 4 where his knee went down. Now, if you had confidence in the kicking game, you could just sit down a couple of times, let the clock run, and kick it. But they don't. Davis straight up the middle to the 1.
I think you use the timeout here, maybe. There's 42 seconds. Nope.
Well, they certainly don't have to rush.
Florida State trying to sub now. 3 new defenders coming in. It might come a quick count again for Clemson. Here it is.
Davis dives. No. They'll mark it a couple of inches away, and now you have to use a timeout.
Well, they haven't yet. Now they do. With 11 seconds left.
Oh, man. What a finish.
They went on the quick count again. They almost fooled Florida State again. He tries to reach for the goal line and down just outside the chalk.
I don't know if Tommy Bowden would kick it from here or not. I don't know.
No, I don't think he will now. I think at this point he's going to go for a touchdown. And if he doesn't get the touchdown, then he'll make that decision in overtime.
The last 2 times he has tried to kick placement, it cost him 2 points on a blocked extra point, and it cost him a touchdown on a blocked field goal. Famar, Ray Ray's younger brother, really having a ball at this one.
Well, there's 11 seconds left, and he's got 1 timeout. So even if they run the football here on 3rd down, if they don't score, they can call a timeout and get 1 more play.
Tell you what, the size of the bugs that are flying in this booth, I thought the Bloomin' Onion 1 came in here for a second.
I mentioned in 1989, the quarterback for Clemson that day was a guy named Chris Morocco. He was a 5th-year senior just making his 3rd career start. Very similar to the story of this guy, Will Proctor.
3rd and goal. Davis the tailback.
That's offside.
And Florida State jumped across.
They can't move it any closer, but that was definitely offsides.
That's when you get a free shot at somebody.
Prior to the snap, offsides by contact, 96 on the defense, half the distance to the goal, still 3rd down.
That's a 1/4 of an inch on the penalty. I don't know how you keep that track of that statistically. Third and goal. Davis, touchdown. Alex Pearson led him from the fullback spot, and Davis hammered his way in, and the Clemson offensive line did its job. 19 carries, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns for Davis, and what a drive, Todd.
Oh, unbelievable. And the play that fooled the Florida State defense, the quick count where they ran off on the sideline, got in formation, set it up, and great poise by Will Proctor and the Clemson offense in the last 20 seconds.
Now Dean will kick because it can't kill him. The worst it could be is a 2-point play. Better protection, and he knocks it through. 8 seconds left in the game. Clemson by 7.
Well, let's go back and look at this touchdown. A couple great blocks. First, you're going to see the left guard, Roman Fry, get underneath and make a great block. Then you're going to see the 2 tight ends right here lead it all the way through. You see the guard get a good low block, and then Thomas Hunter, 89, and Alex Pearson, 41, drive them back into the end zone, and Davis takes it in for the touchdown.
Boy, Pearson's was a beauty.
Unbelievable. What a drive. Every play in that drive was a James Davis run.
And Famar and the rest of the Clemson faithful are going to have a nice trip, you would presume, back to Clemson, South Carolina with 8 seconds to go. And 82,000 people just got very quiet.
And one other fact now, if this holds true, Tommy Bowden and Clemson will have beaten Florida State now 3 of the last 4 times they've played.
Under the new rules this year, the clock will start as soon as the kicker touches the ball. It's not the receiving team anymore.
So I think you definitely squib kick this. Try to get it on the ground as long as it can be.
Well, if you have somebody who can kick it out of the end zone, that would take 6 off of it. But I don't think he has shown the legs so far to do that. Does have a little breeze at his back going this direction. But I'm with you. I would expect some kind of squib. And there it is. Right down the middle, and Florida State will pounce on it and go to the ground at the 26. 4 seconds left.
And they called timeout because the clock would also start on the change of possession.
Very
so Florida
smart.
State called a timeout to make sure they at least get 1 shot down the field.
And Tommy's going to get the bath with 4 seconds to go. He's not smiling yet. Be a huge win for him.
Oh my goodness. I mean, you know, especially the heartbreak of last week, losing a game where they clearly, you know, they outgained Boston College.
Yes.
They converted 50% of their 3rd downs. They did so many good things, but lost in overtime. And then to come back tonight on the road in a place that they've never won with Tommy Bowden as the head coach.
You think there's going to be some special teams work this week at Clemson?
Yeah, but they'll have smiles on their faces when they're breaking down the film.
Boy, and hats off to Proctor.
Great poise. Tremendous poise by that young man.
Great shot of his dad earlier with tears in his eyes, just so happy for his son. And now Xavier Lee is going to come in to throw the Hail Mary. Throws it just as far as he can, and it's batted down. And the Clemson Tigers have done it. They have come to Tallahassee and beaten the Seminoles. Tommy is down on the field with our Holly Rowe. Holly?
Coach, what can you tell me about the quick count that seemed to catch Florida State off guard?
Well, we noticed, you know, we had that in the offense. Probably didn't use it enough, but, you know, just try to change the tempo and catch them off guard.
What changed about that last drive?
Well, caught them off guard. You know, I think the fact we kind of surprised them with the tempo change and broke some runs. We couldn't change field position earlier. We couldn't get off the 20, and defense did a good job of holding up. I think the change of tempo helped us.
You've never had this experience of winning here at Florida State. What's it like?
No, Clemson hadn't had it very often. It's been 17 years, so I've only been there 8. There's been a bunch of people that hadn't had this experience. I was real happy for the team. You know, the coaches worked real hard, and I was real happy for them.
How difficult is it now to shake hands with the losing coach and its dad?
Well, it'll be hard tomorrow. It's, you know, it's like I say, the losses last 7 days. This will last 24, 48 hours. It's over.
All right, congratulations, Coach. Thanks.
Thank you.
Mike?
All right, thanks very much, Holly. Our thanks to Bo Garrett and Scott Johnson down in the truck. Great job, guys. Wonderful effort tonight. Our final score, Clemson 27, Florida State 20 in a beauty from Tallahassee. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. SportsCenter is coming up next over on ESPN News. It's the post-game expert. For Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe, and our entire crew, this is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching.